Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia. I'm Ansony Sieh hosting. Of course, this is another edition of the Hour of Politics here at Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. And in today's edition, I have a guest. But let me bring to you quickly our topic for discussion. The politics of Grand Bassa County and the disintegrating CPP. Well, we would better have when we are talking about Grand Bassa County and the politics of the CPP, other than a member of the opposition Liberty Party, and by default, a member of the CPP that is disintegrating. Let me welcome my guests. Honorable Charles Va, a 2023 senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County. Mr. Va, it's good to have you. Welcome to Focus on Liberia. You may unmute yourself at your answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here on your program. And before then, let me extend my sympathy to our family and friends in Nukuta who lost their family members at the crusade on yesterday. Our thoughts and prayers goes to their family. And we ask the government of Liberia to look into it and to see what it can do for the family. Let me also mention here that not particularly similar, but an incident occurred in Bassa too, with regards to Asila Mita on the rail, which was involved with 7 persons, 4 of which lost their life, and I understand 3 are undergoing medical attention. So I want to, in the same vein, extend my deepest condolences and sympathy to the family of those 4 individuals in Bassa that lost their life as a result of the accident on the rail, and also wish speedy recovery for those that are seeking medical attention at this moment. So I want to thank you for hosting me here on Focus on Liberia. I want to thank you also for your broadcast and what you do by providing information to our people and enlightening us as to what is obtaining within the Republic of Liberia. I want to thank you and thank you for what you do. Thank you for hosting me today.
All right. Thank you. And folks, for introduction, our guest is the Honorable Charles Va, a 2023 senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County. Mr. Va is a former senatorial candidate for Grand Bassa County. He studied maritime law and policy at World Maritime University, that is in Sweden. According to his Facebook, he also studied political science, international relations at the University of Liberia. He attended the William V. S. Tunman High School. And according to his Facebook, also, he studied law at University of Liberia, and he is from Buchanan, Liberia, and now lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I also live. Again, Mr. Va, welcome to Focus on Liberia. It's good having you. How are you doing? How's the family? We understand COVID has been raging hell. I became a victim, but I'm a survivor. How is it at your end?
Well, the same story here. The COVID. Right now, my children are homeschooling. They can't go to school because of the COVID. It's getting worse, and what have you. You know, the winter surge is moving. You know, so the kids are home right now doing their online education with their professors and everything to avoid exposure. So it's the same thing here. Right now, as we leave our residence to go and work, we have to make sure that every protective measures are taking place, wear our face masks and everything. And we do a test on a regular basis to see if we have encountered the virus and whatnot. Thankfully, I'm one of those that have not experienced it, even though I've had the vaccine. and I've also been boosted also, but I've not experienced it yet. And I want to give God the glory for that opportunity. I hope it remains so until the virus goes away.
Thank you so very much. Earlier, you talk about the people of Ninkru Town, and I also want to use this opportunity in my own name and on behalf of this network focused on Liberia. I happen to be a son of Ninkru Town. I lived there for 10 years, where the incident happened on the D12 sport pitch, as we'll call it in Ninkru Town.
Yeah.
I played football there. I attended the D12 High School. I graduated from the D12 High School. The people of Ninkru Town are my people.
Yeah.
So what that happened in Ninkru Town indirectly happened to me, and I am indirectly impacted by it.
Definitely.
So in my own name and in the name of Focus on Liberia, we want to express our sincere condolences to the family members who lost their loved ones in this unfortunate, avoidable situation that gutted their lives. We hope and hope that the good old Lord will console them. But because for me, I believe in the ancestors, our forefathers, I just pray that those who have died will meet our ancestors and that they will be able to share some cola and palm wine together. If only our people can get to know that there's no solution in miracles. There's no solution in these so-called prayers and religious events, put together by so-called pastors and so-called apostles. If only our people will get to know that these things don't help them, then they will come to realize that that's the wrong place to go. I was in Liberia. We saw the Liberia for Jesus Christ crusade. D12 field has been a place of crusade after the other. Ninkru Town remains the same. And as I was watching the videos, I saw my D12. I saw that soccer pitch. It was the same just as I left it. It has not changed. The community has not changed. It has not developed yet. But that's for another day. Folks, in cyberspace, this is Focus on Liberia. I'm Ansony Sieh hosting. Of course, this is the hour of politics. Let me quickly remind you that you are watching the hour of politics with me. Our topic for today is, what is our topic right here? Our topic for today is the politics of Grand Bassa County and the disintegrating CPP. And my guest in this edition of Hour of Politics is the Honorable Charles Val, former senatorial candidate, now 2023 senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County. Mr. Val, let's get started here quickly. It's good I introduce you, but I want to ask this question. What is your relationship with the people of Grand Bassa County? Because I see here that you are in the game again. You want to represent your people. What relationship did you have with them that did not get you to win? What is your relationship now? Have you improved on it? Talk to me about your relationship with the people of Bassa.
Well, I have a very cordial relationship with the people of Bassa. I'm well known in Bassa. My family is well known. My root is defined in Bassa. So I am at ease now, and I'm convinced that I'm not a stranger to the people of Bassa. They know me well, and they know where I'm from. I didn't make it 2023 because Grand Bassa County is not a small country. It's a political active region of Liberia, and as a result, to be able to represent that county, there must be some measures that have to be put in place. You must be able to convince the people of Bassa that you mean what you say you will do, and that you mean business, So I understand that 2020 election was an eye opener. It was an introductory process for me because I came from a background where my family, my uncle, my dad, all of them served Liberia and Bassa from different perspective. And so my coming in straight for the Senate was kind of shocking to most of them. They thought that I would have started in my district. But I feel comfortable and I feel solidly qualified to pursue the senatorial seat of Bassa. And so as it relates to relationship, I'm the only problem I see right now is my absence from Liberia and from Bassa. And I just wanted to make it clear here that I'm not in Liberia today. It's because of my personal reason and some reason that has to do with family relationship and family affairs. So I could be in Liberia today. I could be working with the present government. I have a lot of friends in the government. I have been invited on so many occasions by people in the government, but we are people of principles. We believe in principles. I worked in the Madam Ellen Johnson government 12 years, and we must be able to prove our independence. We must be able to sit aside and watch other people to achieve and do those things that they think they're able to do for our people in our country. So I thought it was, I didn't think that it was expedient for me to push for government to work in this particular government. So I'm on the side and we're watching. Hopefully, maybe come 2023, if I don't succeed as Senator of Bassa, maybe I might want to work with the government that will get elected and then continue to focus on development agenda in Grand Bassa County.
Does it always have to be government? That's a question there. And hold on. You said your parents, if I heard you quite clearly, to had the opportunity to serve the people of Bassa in government. I mean, your family, is this a government thing now? You are well educated. Why can't you start a business? I heard you saying you were in Ellen government for 12 years. This government, some people try to call you. And if a new government is elected, you might go back to say, why does it always be about government? Why you Liberians love this government thing? And this is the government that has not developed Liberia.
Yeah, but you see, frankly speaking, well, growing up in Liberia, my I don't know anything else other than government. My father worked in government his whole life. He started as a judge.
Now you know a lot
in
of
one
things now
country.
other than government.
Oh, I do. And you see, I don't like to discuss private issues, private things that I'm doing. It will come to light and people will see it. I like to take people by surprise. I have so many private activities outside of government that I'm engaged in right now, even in very Grand Bassa County. I have so many things, but at the appropriate time, it will come to light and the people will see what I'm doing. So I don't want to be boasting right now and say, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I have this, I have that, So I want to do it confidentially to myself. And then at the appropriate time, I can and bring it in the open and let the people see for themselves. But, this is what I'm saying. I'm a government kind of person. I did political science at the University of Liberia International Relations. I started working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as a cadet. And then later on moved to the Liberia Maritime Authority. So I've always been in government, even though I have some family members that really love business and other things. And I know business is another key aspect in development and what have you. So this is why right now I'm studying money and banking here in Minnesota and also business administration. So we're doing these things to be able to prepare ourselves for further opportunity, well, in the private sector and whatnot. So for now, I'm eyeing government because that's my area of profession. And I want to get in as a senator for Grand Bassa County, change the life of the people, create job, put the people to work, and make Grand Bassa County the country it's supposed to be. That is the second political subdivision of Liberia.
Thank you. And I just have to ask the questions. And you are right. Some people have to work in government. Government, as disappointing as it has been in the case of Liberia, we need government. We cannot most so do away with our government, right? So we need to have people in there to work for government. So that is no issue. But I'll have to ask you, many people have worked in government. They've been accused of corruption. Some of them, some people say their hands are stained with corruption. You've been there for some time. Are your hands clean?
Well, my hands are clean, and I work in capacity that doesn't require presidential nomination appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and I've worked with the confidence of my boss,
Mm-hmm.
and so I haven't been involved in anything that has to do with mafians or malpractices or
No
anything that has to,
malfeasance, no audit report has booked you, nothing.
not whatsoever.
All right, thank you. So let's talk about this. You know, you're running. What all qualifies you for the office that you hope to seek for the second time? And talk to me also. There will be other candidates, you know, big names like, you know, Weston Garfield might be in the race. What sets you apart from these candidates, possibly, that you have for the Bassa people to say, Mr. Va is the one?
Well, thank you. Back in 2005, when Weston Garfield started to pursue the Senate seat in Bassa, I was one of those that supported him. And at that time, I was in the University of Liberia as a sophomore student. But we can't continue to push somebody for one seat after 15, 20 years. You know, I can't continue to support one person after all these years. We supported Ambassador Weston Garfield. He served 9 years. He became president pro tem of the Liberian Senate. He worked as board chair at the Liberia Airport Authority. He worked in this present government as Minister of Foreign Affairs. And now he's still eyeing the Senate, the seat that he held almost 20 years back. You see, so I mean, I'm not going to be that person to continue pushing.
He's a government kind of person like you, right? So why are you picking bone with him for wanting to be in government all the time? Something you yourself, you know, have chosen to do.
Well, what I do believe that Mr. Finlay has done his part for Bassa, and it's about time that we come in and help to change the circumstances.
So you're going to retire him in the election? You're going to retire him?
Well, I want to win him in the election. I want to have a convincing victory over Mr. Finlay and the other candidates in the election come 2023. I'm not necessarily retiring him, but let me say this thing. He was senator.
The name Wesonga represent Wesson, and it's a big name. His family name, I don't know Grand Bassa, you know, other than the county Grand Bassa, but I would think his family name is bigger than your family name. That is a plus politically. You think you can beat this big name guy who probably got the connections?
Well, I don't know if what you mean by saying that his family name is bigger than my family name. I won't believe that, and I will accept that. But what I do know is that the Va family is deeply rooted in Bassa. It's a traditional name, deeply rooted in Bassa, all the way going to District 5 and what have you. So, yes, the Finland name is a household name from Grand Bassa County. It's a legal name. Likewise, the Va family, my father was a judge for the second judicial circuit court in Grand Bassa County. He served as ad hoc justice of the Supreme Court during Charles Taylor administration. So he was up there too when it comes to the legal profession. And guess what? My father and the late Joseph Finlay, who happened to be the son of Weston Finlay, worked together in the same law firm. You know, on Macklin Street there. They worked together. I used to go there as a little boy in the law firm there. And Mr. Finney, at that time, the council Joe Finney was living Bannerville. I used to even go to the house and all of that. So the Finney and the Va family, they are intertwined. They are really close-knit. And I can't say related, but we are close-knit, you know, together. So we all consider ourselves family. But my father also contested for the Senate in Bassa too. And
what happened?
Well, at the time he ran for the Senate, that was 1997 during the
president. And he did not win, just as you did not win the first time you tried.
They didn't. It wasn't it was a proportional representation election where he was not voted for as an individual. He voted for the party That was the NPP, and after he ran with Clayton Watterson, so he didn't make it. It was the NPP that swept everything at that time, and I think that was the time Daniel Sieh became elected senator, but he didn't take it because they appointed him as Minister of Defense, Minister of National Defense at the time. Yeah. So
and Mr. Val, quickly here, hold on there. Others win with money in most of the elections, if I can put it that way. And others also win because they are popular in the county, or sometimes with the most popular party in that county. So talk to me, talking about your personal popularity versus your opponent, and the popularity of the party that you'll be running with, and then the big one, the money. Do you have these three things when you look at yourself and you look at your opponents?
Well, speaking about the popularity, I'm indeed well known in Bassa for now.
Okay.
I'm speaking as an individual. I'm indeed well known in Bassa, so the popularity is there. But I do have some little problem in terms of finance. I don't have any major support. Everything is from my family, my brothers, my wife, and I. And in terms of what you talk about
The party.
The party. Well, right now I've been a member of the Liberia Party since 2005, but I haven't been active. I've been inactive, and the Liberia Party right now, as you know, is ongoing internal wrangling, and we all sitting on the side and looking at the possibility of a primary. But if all those prove futile, would be left with no alternative but to pursue an independent run. While it is true, we still have that desire to work and build the Liberty Party, make sure Councillor Bronsky's dream is maintained. But come what may, we will be part of the election in 2023. And I know that support will come. People will support because people will see the difference. People will see our aspiration, our dream, and our determination to come on board at this time and to be able to make the difference.
From what I heard from you, your deficiency right now, based on where you said and know, is the issue of money. How are you going to raise money? Where will the money come from to contest? I know money, people say can't win election, but sometimes you need money to campaign. And you know, the money might not be the one to change the people's mind, but you have to reach to the people. Now we're talking t-shirts and all that. Some people look at that. So where would the money come from? And also talk to me about this Western guy, gentlemen. My understanding is that he's coming to the Liberty Party. He's in Dillon's ear. He's in Youngle's ear. You know, and they're trying to listen to him. That might be a blow to you there.
Well, I'm just hearing this from you. And the Liberty Party is a hospitable party. They welcome anybody. The arms is open. Even if he's come to the Liberty Party, there will be a primary. So if he wins the primary, I will support him. So, I mean, I'm not afraid of anybody.
You will support him. I thought you just told me that whether or not with the party you will be on the ballot.
If the process is satisfactory, if the process is legitimate and fair and free, then what options do I have? I mean,
you still have an option. You can go independent.
Well,
you will do it.
Well, I mean, that's why I said going independent will determine the outcome of the primary,
or and how fair it's going to be.
How fair it's going to be, or if there will be one in the first place. Because right now, we have this, like I spoke previously about this division that we have to work around. Mr. Ability is on his own campaign.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
You know, so right now I'm trying to build up the relationship with the people of Bassa more than focusing on political party right now, to be frank with you.
Thank you. So you still have this quest to represent the people of Grand Bassa County as a senator. What is wrong with Grand Bassa? In other words, What are you running to correct that past leaders have not been able to correct? What are the problems that you see in Grand Bassa County? And what are the solutions that you hope to bring to those problems that you see?
Well, the major problem in Bassa right now is the living condition of the people,
Okay.
the absence of jobs, the the children out of school and whatnot. So these are some of the things I think that when I come in, I'll be able to write, make sure that create more opportunity for people to work. There are some sectors in Liberia that is inactive, and I think I can lobby internationally in that direction to put that sector on its footing and make sure that people get job. So one of the main thing, the basic problem in Bassa right now is the lack of opportunity. If people don't have job, they don't have job and they need to work. If you put the people to work, definitely you have a county that will move forward and create that opportunity for the children. Make sure the opportunities are there and that the children future will be protected. But if the people not working, I was in Bassa 2020 during the election for almost 4 months, going to 5 months. All the area I went, everybody wanted money from me. Everywhere I went, people there, the only thing most of the people intoxicated, drinking palm wine and whatnot, because they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. The people don't have work to do. They prefer going out to make sure do those things that will take the worries from their mind. That is,
Mr. Val,
yeah.
you said the living condition of the people is one of the problems that you see. You talk about jobs. As a senator, how, what method will you be using to improve the people living condition? You also talk about school fees. As a senator, is that your responsibility to pay school fees for people? If
Yeah,
yes,
but
how are you going to do it?
as a senator, you lobby for your people, put them to work, and they will pay their children's school fees.
So how you do the lobby? Talk to me about that.
There are so many ways to do it. You
Give me some.
scout for investors,
Mhm.
bring them down. We
Mhm.
have sectors there that the what's it?
Mr. Fire, are you with me? Folks, bear with me. You are watching Focus on Liberia. My name is Ansony, Sieh hosting. This is the Hour of Politics. Mr. Fire, are you with me?
I'm trying to get reconnected. I don't know what's going on.
You are still here, so if you heard my question, you can go ahead and speak. I think your video went off. Look below there, you will see where it said stop can, tap on it, and then you should be able to come back on a video.
Well,
Look below, somewhere you say somewhere you will say you'll see mute, stop cam. You see that all the way below at the bottom. Look below on the screen all the way to the bottom. You will see mute, stop cam and mark. You don't see anything like that?
I don't see anything.
All
I
right.
see
If you
any
don't see
icon.
anything, then if you don't see anything, then leave. There's somewhere it should say leave studio. You can leave and come back, and then you should be back on video.
Damn, where did it begin? Oh God.
All right, folks in cyberspace, please bear with us here. My guest is running into some technical issues there. Again, this is the Hour of Politics, and I am in conversation with Honorable Charles Var, who is a 2023 senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County. He's a former senatorial candidate, by the way. All right, the issue has been resolved. If you don't mind, I can restate my question. You talk about the living condition of the people. You talk about school fees, and you said these are some of the problems that you want to address and I ask you how you going to do the school fees thing, you say you're going to lobby. So you're going to be lobbying with people to say, hey, can you give us money so that we can pay school fees? I've never heard anything like that. Lawmakers going around lobbying for school fees to be paid. So explain it to me better. I may not be understanding it.
What I'm saying is, I'm going to lobby with international firms to bring business to Liberia
Mhm,
and to find jobs for our people to do.
mhm,
Once our people are working,
mhm,
they would use their salary wisely
mhm.
to put their children in school. So that's what I'm saying. My
So,
primary focus is job creation,
job
and
creation.
there's so many aspects in creating job to do. We have sectors that international business people would be interested in, like I call the tourism industry. We have a large beachfront. As a maritime expert, I know how to utilize the beach and all the kind of things. We have a port, which of course many other countries do not. So these are opportunities that we have, that can we can engage on a robust basis to make sure that our people get something to do instead of sitting idle and what have you, to be able to work and to be able to make the difference.
So let's start with what you have right now and tell me how you're going to use something that belongs to you to create jobs, which you have identified as one of the key problems there. You have the county development funds. You have the social development funds. You are right. Grand Bassa County is one of the counties that is blessed to have one of our major seaports, right? So there are a lot of money that have been generated. How will you, as a senator, suggest, recommend, or use the money to create jobs for the people of Grand Bassa County? Sustainable jobs too.
Yes, you see, like when you talk about the county development fund, social development fund, these are funding that come in on a regular basis. And normally, I think what the legislature does rather is have dialogue. Sometimes they have town hall meetings with the people, and then the people bring in proposals and different ideas as to how the funds should be spent. But I have a different idea. The county development funds and whatnot should be directly in the control of the citizen, and they should decide the way forward, how it should be expended, and that it should be a transparent process, that every cent, every dime of that money should be spent with the acquiescence of the citizens of the county. And Bassa is has a political subdivision, 5 districts, and it has to be spent evenly in all those districts. You cannot prioritize a certain sector more than the other one, or else you'll
and
be
and and I like
getting.
that idea. I like that idea because, like I agree with you. It's called county development funds, right? So let the county officials be in charge of it as it should be. So in the case where we put the money in charge of the county officials, give me how you will want them to use it. Now in their care, you're looking at your priorities.
Yeah,
How do they spend that money? And in fact, I may ask, is that money enough? They always getting 200,000.
it's always never enough. This is why we need to outsource. It's always never enough, you know. So such funding should go towards the most crucial aspect, that is the healthcare delivery sector.
Mhm.
The Water Party in last year September had a summit in uh, Arlington, Pennsylvania, where they deliberated on the idea of extending medical facility outside of major cities of Liberia into the hinterland and those areas that are hard to reach places. And they put their proposal together. They have their policy document, everything intact. And They might share it with government of Liberia. They might share with World Health
I'm
Organization.
asking you for your suggestion, your recommendations, how that pitiful $200,000 should be spent for the people of Bassa to benefit.
Well, I think it should be spent, I mean, in the healthcare delivery sector.
Okay.
Because right now there are so many areas I've been receiving information that
Should be spent is broad. How should they spend it? What should they spend it on? I mean, give me
well, you
specifics.
spend it on medical equipments like microscope, like
Mhm.
testing equipments, like surgical gloves, like cleaning materials to make sure the facilities are clean and all that, you know.
You think
So,
those are the priorities that priority items that will be needed for the healthcare system? Do you know what
yeah,
is the most needed things now for the healthcare system? Do you know?
the most that is for the healthcare system sector is equipment to be able to diagnose somebody sick. If somebody's sick and the hospital is unable to diagnose what is happening to the person, then that's not a healthcare sector.
Are
The
there not
hospital,
shortage of nurses? Are there not shortage of clinics in the counties, in the
well,
towns, in the
there
villages?
is shortage of nurses and clinics and whatnot. But you said 200,000, so the 200,000 has to be used wisely.
Mhm.
If you use it to recruit more nurse and open more clinics, and then you don't have the equipment to diagnose the problem of the sick person, then is that a medical facility, is that a hospital? My child got malaria, and then I carry the child to the hospital and somebody say, oh, the man are sick, you can get, we ain't see nothing, you know. So I think what we need to do is, even if you have a small staff and equipped and well equipped fast materials or equipment and what have you to be able to diagnose people and be able to come out and make the rightful recommendation as to what drugs is needed to cater for their sickness and what have you. I think it will be better than using the 200,000 to expand the facility, and then you won't be able to diagnose whatever problem the person is facing.
Thank you so very much, folks in cyberspace. You are watching Focus on Liberia. I'm Ansony Sieh hosting. This is the Hour of Politics. My guest is senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County, Honorable Charles Va. He is trying to do this again. We hope that he will be lucky this time. Before we get to some national politics, starting with the Liberty Party and the CPP, and then 2023, my final question on Bassa politics a little bit. Many have complained that the county development funds as well as the social development funds have now been used for the intended purpose. That is why we're here. Do you know this to be true? If yeah, why are some instances? And finally, what would be your recommendation for accountability on individuals who, reports say have been in a habit of not using these funds for the intended purpose?
Well, people have been complaining. Yes, I've heard complaints,
Mhm.
but have those complaints been verified? No, you know. So I can't say here that it's true that people have been using county development fund for their personal gains and whatnot. But until they can be verified, either by evidence or within a code of competent jurisdiction, I can't say anything for that matter. But what I think is appropriate is for uh, an audit to go on as it relates to the claims and counterclaims around county development money and what have you. Once you
Mhm.
have a competent audit, you carry out the audit, and then the audit report.
Maybe you should start with reports, right? So the
Yeah.
country received the 200,000 at the end of that fiscal year. There should be a report from the county that, hey, we received this money. This is how it was spent. Can we start with that? Is that something you think is a good idea?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Has
think
that been happening though?
the last time I checked, that was done.
Mhm.
Funding that was received by the county for county development purposes was presented to the town hall meeting that they had in Buchanan, and some citizens attended. I think people were disenchanted as a result of the meeting and whatnot. So, but there was a town hall meeting in Burkina a couple
Was
of
there a
months.
report?
Well, I don't know if it was a report, but I knew they had a meeting with
Have you
the.
seen any report on this money? I mean, you're running to be senator. You should be paying attention. Have you seen any report? Has any of those reports been satisfactory? If you have not paid attention or asked for any report, have seen any report, then that is a problem.
Yeah, but definitely, I haven't seen any report yet in that direction. That is primarily because there's not anything major going on in the county right now
Have
with
you gone
regards to.
searching and asking for
Oh
the
yeah,
people in charge of your aid?
I'm on a regular basis. I'm in touch with people on the ground, and I'm in conversation every day with people on the ground as to what is obtaining with regards to practices that are tantamount to derail the process in Bassa. So people, I mean, I haven't heard anything about people misusing county development funding and what have you. But I'm not saying I'm right, but we still have to look into it and see what is how you got. Because one thing I know about the Bassa man is if you do something, they will definitely verse it, and we all will jump into it and try to investigate. But there's not a
Let's talk
major.
about the accountability side. I know you are saying it has not been verified. If anybody has embezzled, any of the country or social development fund, in the instant where it is proven through an audit and an investigation that someone, took some of the money and used it for purposes not intended, what would be a strong recommendation in terms of accountability from you?
Oh, well, the first thing would be restitution. If you cannot pay the money back, you be
Mhm.
prosecuted, and then you go through a court of competent jurisdiction to have the funding. I mean,
Well, why, if
the
it is proven that the person used it to buy a house, what should happen?
house will be confiscated. I said that last 2020 during the debate, the senatorial debate, that
Mhm.
that's the thing that the number one problem in Liberia is
Mhm.
corruption, and we're not going to have any credence for anybody that engage in corrupt practices. So once it is verified and confirmed that
Mhm.
XYZ was conducted something that was done criminally and illegally,
Mhm.
you will be held accountable for your actions, and every cent will be restituted. If you use that money to construct a property, that property will be confiscated and be used for the county purposes, and will not sit and allow you to go scot free. So the transparency is our hallmark, and we definitely running to bring transparency to Bassa.
All right. Do you know the cardinal responsibilities of a lawmaker, in this case, senator? Do you know?
Oh, I do. The cardinal responsibility of the lawmaker is to make laws and representation and what's the third one? Something. Make
I
laws.
always hear oversight. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. Oversight. Yeah, that's it. Oversight. Representation, make laws, and
So, what is oversight? How do you
oversight.
carry on oversight?
Right?
What is oversight, and how do you carry on or execute oversight as a lawmaker?
It's basically, you know, performing your responsibility because, it's as I mean, as you are aware that Grand Bassa has two senators and a couple of representatives from the respective districts. And as a senator, you perform oversight with
I
regards to
know. So,
the
how do you perform that? What are the things
you
you do that constitute this oversight?
like what they do very representative what they're doing in their respective district. You as a senator, you go there and look at it and see how best you can help in that aspect of it to
You,
buttress
you
it.
you still not giving me something. You painting it. I don't want you to paint it. I want you to tell me what specifically do you do for oversight? Do you hold a
What
switch and go after somebody with them? Tell me something.
oversight is basically checking, working in line with the representatives. You know, they got this thing they call caucus, right? Which is the Grand Bassa Legislative Caucus.
Mhm.
And as a senator, you perform oversight over the entire working of the county. It doesn't have to necessarily be.
For example,
Yeah, for example, the oversight is from a legislative perspective. As you know, the office of the superintendent is executive wing. We have three branches of government: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. So, as a senator, you are a legislature. So you perform your legislative oversight by working in line with your colleagues, which happen to be the House of Representatives and your colleague, the other senator, and see how best you people push the agenda of the county and to implement those things that are necessary to change the circumstances and condition of the people within the county. So,
right.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, folks in cyberspace. You are watching Focus on Liberia. My guest is Mr. Charles Va, senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County, and we are discussing the topic, the politics of Grand Bassa County and the disintegrating CPP. At this time, we will take a short break. When we come back, this is the segment that you have been waiting for. He is a member of the Opposition Liberty Party. The Opposition Liberty Party is divided. It's like bamboo has divided cola. Does he have a side? And the CPP too is also divided. Lawmaker is dividing bananas. Is he eating one of those bananas? Wow. Don't miss that one. We will be right back after the short break.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Ja.
And I am Ansony Sieh, hosting the Hour of Politics. Again, my guest is Honorable Charles P. Va, 2023 senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County. Mr. Va, let us come to some national politics here, starting with the Opposition Liberty Party. In the Liberty Party, we can clearly see a Nyombli Dillon win and a Musa Belete win of the Liberty Party. It is divided. Where do you stand?
Well, thank you very much. Well, I'm a member of the Liberty Party, and I recognize Mr. Steve Zako of Lofa County, Senator Steve Zako of Lofa County, as the chairman of the Liberty Party, and Mr. Belete, former chairman, who now returned to his previous position. And there's one Liberty Party, it's headed by Steve Zako, and Malayombi Kanga Lauren is the political leader.
When was Steve Zako elected as chairman?
Pardon?
When was Steve Zako elected as chairman? Which convention produced Steve Zako as chairman of Liberty Party?
Well, Steve Zako was elected at the convention. I think it was before 2015. Before that constitution was concluded by Councillor Bronsky. Mr. Zako, I don't know the exact date, but
so you are saying the convention somewhere around 2015 elected Steve Zako, is that right?
Precisely.
So there was a convention that produced Mr. Musa Hassan Belete. What happened to that convention?
Well, that convention has been notified by the political leader on the grounds of lack of quorum. And
does the political leader have the power to nullify a convention, which is the highest decision-making body of the political party? This sounds like, she's been
if the political leader never had the power, she wouldn't have done it. And I
So
think
your constitution gives a political leader, a
2015
one person,
constitution,
the
the
authority
political leader,
to
no,
nullify,
the political leader in line with the advisory council came and notified the 2021 convention.
Was there quorum?
On grounds of lack of quorum and so many other issues that wasn't right that took place at the time. So as a result of that 2021 constitution has been notified. The
So
convention is notified.
in short, you are supporting the DeLong, Steve Zago, and Imbato political leader Nyomli Kanka win of the opposition Liberty Party and not the win of Musa Hassan Berete.
Well,
Why are you not supporting the side?
I don't consider it as embattled, and I don't consider it as a win. I consider it as the legitimate and true Liberty Party.
That's your opinion, right?
That's how it is.
What do you mean by that's how it is? Just because DeLong and Nyomli said so?
No, not because DeLong and Nyomli said so, because that's what the Constitution says. The Constitution of the Liberty Party, the 2015 Constitution that we have reverted to. Because as you know, the 2021 Constitution.
Which constitution is the official and
the 2015
constitution? Let me end my question, Mr. Va. Let me end my question.
Okay.
Which one of your constitutions register Liberty Party as a legal political institution in Liberia that is with the National Election Commission by law?
Well, it was the 2015 Constitution that Councillor Bronsky.
It was. Good answer. It was, right? So which one is now?
It's still the 2015 Constitution.
But you just say it was.
What I said, the 2015 Constitution was the Constitution that was used by Councillor Charles Walker Bronsky to contest in the 2017 national presidential elections. And we intend to build up that constitution that was brought about the 2021 constitution. But the 2021 constitution has not been completed in terms that it was temporary.
Which one of your constitution is at the National Election Commission right now?
Well, the 2015 constitution is at the Elections Commission. And the 2021.
Are you telling the truth, Mr. Va? Are you telling the truth?
I'm telling you the truth. The 2015 constitution.
The National Election Commission said, let me remind you, the National Election Commission said the constitution that it has in its possession that registered Liberty Party as a political entity in Liberia is your 2021 constitution. And you said here, you're telling me it's your 2015 constitution. You want me to believe that?
There was a communication that was sent to the National Election Commission by the Liberty Party under the signature of the political leader, informing them that there's some internal issues surrounding that 2021 constitution, and we requested the withdrawal of that constitution for ratification and to have it corrected. So there's no way the Election Commission is supposed to.
And has that been corrected?
That particular constitution.
And has that been corrected?
The Election Commission, I mean, the process is ongoing until the Election Commission can understand that there's an internal dispute that has to be ratified, and that they have to step aside and allow the party to work with its problems instead of taking side. Then the problem will continue to persist. But this
Mr. Va, this is what the Election Commission is saying. You are right. There was a communication to the National Election Commission from your political leader in which he intended, all right, to ask that the Constitution of 2021 be withdrawn and be replaced with the 2021 because she said there are issues with it. That is the allegation of alteration. Is that correct? Definitely. Now, the National Election Commission is saying, well, right now it is the 2021 Constitution that registers you. So what you need to do now is that make the correction, make the changes that you think made the one that here to not be correct. And then if you bring the correct version, they use the word the amended version, then we can change it. You have not done so. So until you have done that, the Constitution at NEC is the 2021 Constitution. Do you still believe your 2015 Constitution is the one that registers you?
NEC was written. That's why we're saying that NEC is playing game. And I mean, it's clear. And with the kind of practice from NEC, we'll definitely give them problem. And will bring problem not just to the Liberty Party, but to the country at large. Because they're supposed to be conducting a 2023 national and presidential election. So if they cannot handle this particular internal problem that exists with the Liberty Party, and they are taking sides and trying to preach all kind of information that is not accurate with regards to the internal wrangling within the party, and they are taking sides. It brings question about
the NEC is not taking side, in my opinion, Mr. Va. This is what the NEC is doing. Let me give you this scenario. Let me give you this scenario. May I give you this scenario?
Yeah.
You have a driver license that you use to register your car. Now, you come to say, hey, I have changed my name. You understand? So I want to make sure that, it reflects on, my registration document. So the DMV say, okay, if that is the case, go and fill in a new form with the new information and you bring it. When you bring it, then of course it will rectify all your information and then you should be in good standing with us. And you are saying, no, in as much as I notify you that my name is no longer Charles Paul Va, it is now Charles P. Va, that is okay. The NEC is not playing games with you. You were asked to do something specific to meet the requirement and you have not done so. That is the problem.
Well, just what I'm saying. We did inform the NEC that we revert to the 2015 Constitution. So we expect them to file the 2015 Constitution, what they already in their possession. And then we'll come in, because there's no way you can have a political party in a dispute and then on the basis of a constitution that have been deemed fraudulent and inappropriate, and then you say you're going to hold that constitution binding on the party until it can be ratified. There's no way.
Mr. Va, it is Liberty Party.
Yeah, but
that communicated. Listen, it's Liberty Party that communicated to NEC about two different constitutions.
We told NEC that,
and you have to understand now.
The political
at the time you had a convention. At the time you adopted your 2021 Constitution, your 2021 Constitutions were registered with NEC. Your 2015 Constitution was no longer a legal document that the NEC could use. So the NEC is saying, since you're saying this one have a problem, just make a correction and then send it. Then we should recognize you.
But why should the NEC work with a constitution that we say has problem? Then what I think NEC should do now is
because your previous constitution, was no longer the official constitution.
If they don't want to
your previous was no longer your official constitution.
If they don't want to recognize the 2015 constitution, let them deregister Liberty Party as a political party.
No, they can't just deregister a political party.
Then we will be able to look into the two constitutions and then ratify it. But we can't tell you that we revert to our previous constitution, which is 2015 constitution, that was used in a presidential election 2017, because the 2021 constitution has a problem, and people went into it with all the acquiescence of the leaders that how you call it, and then you're telling us, hey, we're going to hold that constitution binding on you. You cannot hold a constitution that I don't know about binding on me. You cannot hold that constitution on the Liberty Party. The 2021 Constitution was not rightfully, legitimately done. So as a result,
who is the problem of Liberty Party right now? Who or what is the problem of Liberty Party as we speak?
Well, the problem here is Mr. Belete has taken for granted the generosity and the hospitality of the people of Liberty Party. And he's using that as his personal aggrandizement to enrich himself and for his personal gains.
What you call generosity?
I can tell you one thing.
What you call generosity?
I can tell you. I mean, the kind-hearted people of Liberty Party, we are kind-hearted and open-minded. You know,
is that how you run political party? You are kind-hearted and
well,
all
I
that.
mean,
That's how you run political
the Liberty
institutions?
Party is a party that's open to anybody, like I said previously.
Is Mr. Hassan Bedete not kind-hearted? Is he not generous?
I don't know much about him personally. We are discussing the Liberty Party.
So you know the Liberty Party is generous, but you don't know Musa Bedete is kind-hearted and generous. You don't know that.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not discussing personal individuals. We are discussing.
No, we're discussing Liberty Party, which includes.
Yeah, we're discussing Liberty Party, which are institution. So we welcome.
You were discussing the political leader who having to be a person. You didn't tell me I'm not discussing individual. Now it comes to Musa, you're not discussing individual, right?
But what you want me to say about Mr. Bedete? Mr. Bedete has.
You are talking about Liberty Party is kind-hearted and generous. The party is not a human being. It's an institution that
definitely
people make the institution. So I'm asking you, is Musa Bedete kind-hearted and generous?
Well, I can't speak to that. I can't say he kind-hearted or generous. I don't know him to, like
Musa
that.
Bedete, according to reports, has been able to finance the Liberty Party. Musa Bedete, according to report, gave the loan money for campaign. Reports have said that he bought cars for Liberty Party. If that is true, is that not generosity? Is that not kindness? Is that the kind of kindness you're talking about?
Let me tell you, all members of the Liberty Party are welcome to contribute wherever they can afford. So if Musa Bedete did that, well, it's commendable, it's laudable, you know, because 2020 elections was challenging. So if he helped Dillon out in the electoral process, well, we commend it because at the time he was chairman of the party. But we are not going to sit there and allow Musa Bedete to take the party on a different trajectory, on a different track, you know. So we're going to definitely challenge it. This is what we're doing. And the first thing he did was to fraudulently tamper with the Constitution. I mean, you can't be generous on the other hand, and then on the other hand, you're doing something that is not right, and then we can't condone that, you know.
So the generosity of the people. The generosity of Liberty Party was to elect Musa Bedete as chairman. Is that the generosity you're talking about?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So because the whole party thing shouldn't be about generosity. I don't know where you came from with the word generosity. That's what I'm holding you.
Why you want to dwell on generosity?
Because you shouldn't be talking about generosity when you're running an institution. Institutions is run on the basis of laws and rules and constitution, and you're talking generosity.
But this is what I'm saying. Getting within an institution, you do so legally, and you go through the processes to get within an institution. But ascending in such an institution requires interaction, requires approval.
He ran his campaign. He loved it.
Talk about generosity. If
are you running a charity organization?
We're not running a charity organization, but every institution, including government, if you don't have people that will open arms to you, you're not going anywhere.
That is true.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. The Liberty Party is a hospitable party and it's a generous party. That doesn't mean that we're going to bend our laws because of that. No, not at all. You know.
So, are you embarrassed? Are you ashamed? You know, of the people of Liberty Party that you have this thing going on and non-stop, and you are divided. But you know, the suspension, the due payment suspension. I mean, was that even legal?
The only thing that I'm ashamed of is the role election commissions play in the process, and they undermining their own. The international community is watching.
You are not ashamed of Musa's role. You are not ashamed of Dillon's role. You are not ashamed of Nyombli's role. You are not ashamed that you are fighting among yourself. Your leaders are dancing on social media. But you're not ashamed of anything like that. You are only ashamed of election commission, right?
Well, I'm ashamed of the election commission, and I'm ashamed of Mr. Bedete.
What's about Nyombli? She too is dancing.
He knows within himself that
she too is taking unilateral decision. You're not ashamed of her. You're happy with her.
Why unilateral decision is the political leader taking? I don't know. So except you tell me, I don't know. But I can tell you that what Bedete is doing is he working for people outside of the party, and you don't.
All right. Let us make progress, Mr. Val. Let us make progress.
Okay.
Let us make progress. By extension, we have the Cummins wing and Bassa wing of the Disintegrating CPP. Do you have a side in the other divide? Because what we see is the side of Liberty Party that you support, the DeLon Nyombli wing supporting Bassa, and the Liberty Party of Musa Ability supporting Cummins. So let's come to the CPP. It is divided also. Do you have a side, Cummins and Bassa?
Well, as far as I'm concerned right now, I think that I think you should have said the former CPP, because I understood that the United Party has pulled out of the CPP, the ALP is out of the CPP, so it's the former CPP.
For your information, none of these two institutions has pulled out yet officially and legally. None has. I'm strong on that.
Well, we need to look into that and see what the law says in that direction. But
the ALP, for your information, voted through a National Executive Committee authorizing its leadership to do everything in its power to exit the CPP. Also, we heard and it was confirmed that Unity Party too voted, but Unity Party has not announced it and Unity Party has not executed it. So for you to be giving breaking news that the CPP is formal, what is your reliance? What is the legal document that you have in your possession? Mr. Va, go ahead. Mr. Va, I can hear you. Go ahead. Folks in cyberspace, you are watching the Hour of Politics here, a focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. My guest today is 2023 senatorial aspirant for Grand Bassa County, Honorable Charles Va. He contested the last time. He did not succeed. He is on the road again. And we are discussing the Disintegrating CPP. He having to be a member of the DeLon Nyombli wing of the opposition Liberty Party, the Liberty Party that is in shambles. And he said that Nyombli Kanka Lawrence is still the political leader, even though Nyombli Kanka Lawrence was suspended. My understanding is that the National Election Commission now recognizes Musa Hassan Berete as acting political leader of the opposition Liberty Party. This thing is uglier. It is uglier than you think. Our guest is not here. So while we wait for him, let me see if I can roll in some comments here quickly. Let me roll in some comments, for time is fast spent here. Let's see, Sela Na, the problem that concerns most, if these people don't have money to run their campaign, it is very scary where they are, when they are broke, it gives birth to corruption. That is the saying that, not necessarily so. Some people can be very poor and they can remain true to themselves. My understanding is that Obama was not rich when he contested. He never had money. From what I learned, people contributed to his campaign, and there's no proven record of corruption against Obama. Let's hear from T. Benson. Job creation? Ask a question. What incentive will you give to encourage investment? My guest is back with me, Mr. Va. Thanks for making the effort and joining me. And I was asking the question on this CPP divide, and I want to know where you stand. What is going on with my guest here? Mr. Va, you are stay here. I don't know what is going on there, so let me continue with my comments until you can come back. Let's hear from T. Benson again. What kind of investment does he currently have in Bassa? They are asking you some question. The question needs collective decision. It's not one man thing. This right or right. Let's hear from Fretus. corrupt Bassa man wants to rip the Bassa people off. Look at his face, look like, oh, come on. How can you look at somebody and you think that because he's looking the way he looks, come on, man, folks. You can't call the man a criminal. You have to be very respectful here. What evidence do you have? Ambassador Jerome Orlando Reeves, oversight simply means check and balance. The House of Elders is the highest decision maker in Parliament that provides such duty to ensure all governmental functions are effective. Let's hear from Bacchus Yuan. You want to be senator but don't even know what is oversight? That person is asking a question. Let's hear from Raphael Papi Kiazulu. He writes, Titi Benson, are you serious? Who told you Liberian politicians care about investment? All these people do campaign. Let me leave it there. It's not properly written there. Mr. Va, I don't know what's going on with your technology there. Again, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I asked the question on the CPP divide, and I told you it's divided one hand Cummings, the other hand Joseph Boakai. Do you have a side here that you support? And you said the CPP is a former CPP now. So talk to me.
Yeah, because from the way in which things is going, I know that the Unity Party is going to contest as the Unity Party, and the ALP also want to find their standard bearer because they have pulled away from the CPP arrangement.
I think the CPP, the ALP has a standard bearer already, and you know that. Why are you dodging that?
Well, people normally conduct primaries, so maybe somebody will challenge him. So I don't know.
ALP have any? Does ALP have any history of primary?
Well, I don't know anything much about the ALP. I'm not a member of the ALP.
I mean, it's a club. It's a Benin U.S. club. That is not a party. That's a club. So let's talk something serious. Go ahead. Well, what side? You still have not answered my question. Do you have a side to this CPP division or divide?
Well, as a member of the CPP, what I really wanted to see is I wanted to see a strong ticket, like the ticket in 2020. If you have monitored the 2020 president senatorial election,
exactly right.
The CPP was victorious in most of those races, you know. So what I really wanted to see was Boakai Cummings ticket, Boakai president, Zana Cummings vice president. That's what I really wanted to see, and I think that also would have been a fast tracking to the presidency for Mr. Cummings. But owing to the fact that things didn't work out the way we anticipated and we thought it would have, I right now is a champion and a proponent of the Boakai Yombly ticket come 2023. So that's what we all want to see right now. Ambassador Boakai president, Malan Yombly, Cardinal Lawrence.
Do you know Yombly to have interest in being vice presidential candidate to Boakai?
Well, I haven't read it. People are petitioned and motivated to serve, so even if she doesn't have the interest, we intend to petition her because we see the many good things that she's been doing. So we intend to petition her and motivate her to accept the petition to be able to serve the people of Liberia.
And you think Yombly can make a good vice president for Liberia?
Definitely. Yombly can make a good vice president of Liberia. I'm sure that if she's vice president of Liberia, you will have, she'll be involved in a lot of activities. She's energetic, she's active, and I'm sure that she'll be able to help Ambassador Boakai in so many sectors. Primarily the healthcare sector that she's passionate about, and that's one of the areas that Liberia needs people to focus on. So she will be a very good vice president in that light.
Many people might think that you are floating this idea of a Yombly for vice president because one, She's Bassa, you are Bassa. And 2, she's Liberty Party partisan, and you are Liberty Party partisan. Other than that, nothing. She's not a national candidate. Someone might say that. What will you say?
Well, everybody got their own opinion of things. I'm not here to counter everybody's opinions or to say because people are entitled to their opinions. If you think that because she myself from the same part of Liberia, so that's what I'm supporting her. That's not what I believe. I stated here that she's passionate about healthcare. She loves Liberia, and we can motivate her and to serve. So I'm not looking in any personal link because we are Bassa people. While it is true that I would like to see somebody from my region to even ascend to the presidency, but I'm not going to do that at the detriment of the people of Liberia. We'll push people that would think up to the tax, that will be able to help to make the difference for Liberia, not because that's my person is my kinsman or somebody that I have some influence over, somebody that I know. That's not good. You don't push people on your personal aggrandizement. You push people for national development and the people that will be able to make the difference across.
Mr. Val, the thing here is that normally, if she is to run with Bouaka as you are suggesting, that means should they be lucky, she will become president, and chances are that she may become, she will become vice president, and chances that she will become president of Liberia. If she is a presidential material and she has a whole party she hailing as political leader, I don't know of anybody running to be president in the Liberty Party. Why couldn't she, with the support of the institution and people like you, contest to be a presidential candidate for CPP? I mean, it's obvious that she knows she's not a presidential material. That is why she has decided that she has no interest.
When you ask the question and you answer it.
Well, if you feel that way, that's okay with me. She has no interest.
Look, let me tell you.
This is Liberty Party, in your own words, that Charles Bronski left in her care.
Yeah.
It was turned over to her. Charles Bronski was always running to be president.
Malonjobi Lawrence is the political leader of the Liberty Party. Okay, and with the arrangement of the CPP, she approached the whole thing as a humble person, So she's not going there to scout or to fight for political gains or power. She's going there to look for ideas and see how best they can put a strong team together and be able to deliver Liberia. While it is true that probably she may have some presidential ambition, but she hasn't made that known yet.
This is the first time the Liberty Party is now feeding. This is the first time the Liberty Party is not having a candidate as a candidate of the Liberty Party. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why it's happening that way?
Well, primarily because of the CPP arrangement.
No, other than that, so. No. I disagree. That's not so. It's because somebody from Liberty Party is not contesting to be president of Liberia. That is why. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, somebody of the Liberty Party has not shown interest yet, but that doesn't mean that the Liberty Party doesn't have any candidate that can contest for the presidency. It's the matter of interest. Okay, you have to show the interest, and you have to express your desire. And the Marlon Lawrence right now has been earmarked by the people of Liberia and member of the Liberty Party.
Earmarked by the people of Liberia. When did the people of Liberia earmark her for what?
Oh, I mean, a lot of people. The Liberty Party is a big political institution. It covers the length and breadth of Liberia.
That has no presidential candidate, right? For the first time.
Malonjobi Lawrence is not thinking about the presidency right now. While it is true that she might think about it as a political leader, she's the standard bearer also of the Liberty Party. But for 2023, she hasn't said anything about contesting for the presidency. So right now, we working with Ambassador Bouaka to see how best she serves as vice president to Ambassador Bouaka. Other than that,
Mr. Val, you play soccer or you like the game? Football?
Oh yeah, I played soccer before.
You
I
know
do
what they
like
call
it.
Division 1, Division 2?
I know.
So this
I
is
know
what
the
happened to the
Premier League and
Liberty Party.
everything.
Liberty Party were always in Division 1, competing for the championship. But right now, Bronskin gone. Now you're down to Division 2. You're not even competing for the national championship.
No.
You see that? That is a problem, right?
I won't accept that. I won't accept that. The Liberty Party right now
Does the Liberty Party have a presidential candidate?
the Liberty Party right now is working
Does
with.
the Liberty Party have a
Oh, we
presidential
have a
candidate?
political leader. We have a political leader.
I'm
who
not
is-
asking you for political leader, Mr. Val. You have to answer a question. Does the Liberty Party have a presidential candidate?
The Liberty Party has not declared any presidential candidate yet, but we do have a political leader that can become presidential candidate in a minute.
In a minute.
Yeah.
Even though you are saying she should go as number 2 to Bassa.
But then what most that's what I say. That's what most Liberians are suggesting. I mean,
All right.
Madam Lawrence herself had not even expressed anything, but we are suggesting and recommending that she goes as vice president to Ambassador Bassa.
All right. Let me ask you the question, Mr. Val. A lot of damage has been done to the CPP. That something the CPP is dead, and you are one of those who said that. Who or what is responsible, or can you blame for this CPP's unfortunate death?
Well, the politics in Liberia is dynamic, and people outside of government also have their interest. They have big hands that are behind these issues. We've been hearing it, and there are two things I will say here. Is the first thing is the former president of Liberia, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, has her own interest in this 2023 election. And the last thing Madam Sirleaf want to see is Ambassador Bassa becoming president of Liberia. I don't know why, but that's the last thing she wants to see. And she's working every way possible to stop it. And I can also say that President Weah is also fighting to maintain his presidency by going for another 6 years. And this is why I see, Mr. Cummings is not a politician, he's a businessman. And so I feel that he's being marginalized, he's being used in the process. And somebody that doesn't know
who is using Cummings?
Cummings is being used mainly by the former president of Liberia. And
the former president is the only person using Cummings?
Well, the former president is one of the key factor that got Cummings not to accept the second post to Ambassador Bassa.
So Ellen is the only person you suspect who is using Cummings?
Well, Ability also is using Cummings, and Ability is being used by Ambassador Weah to disrupt the CPP, to break apart the Liberty Party.
I see contradiction here.
In 2023.
I see contradiction.
This is what I say. Cummings is being used in the process because he doesn't know.
I got that, but I see contradiction. Let me bring that contradiction to you. You said that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is using Cummings. And then you said George Weah is using Ability. But the same George Weah that is using Ability, some people are saying it's the same George Weah that is prosecuting Cummings. So I don't understand. So make it explicit for us.
But if George Weah is using Ability, you think he's using Ability in the interest of Cummings. I say Cummings is being used because George Weah is using Ability to discourage Cummings from working with Bassa because there's only ticket that can unseat President Weah in the first run is Bassa Cummings. Okay?
The Bassa that George Weah flocked in 2017.
But how did George Weah, if you use the word flock, then
disgracefully.
I think that you're missing a step there because he didn't flock. He won narrowly because they went to a second round elections, right? And where there was a second run in the election where Weah won narrowly.
Yes.
And having getting the same support from from Bellete and others in the Liberty Party at the time. And I can remember Councillor Bronsky spoke to that. He said, well, Bellete and the rest of the people, they can go and support Mr. Weah, but it's not the Liberty Party that is supporting Mr. Weah. It is people within the Liberty Party. It's not the Liberty Party. I can remember that comment clearly from Councillor Bronsky. So
you said George Weah won Bwaka narrowly. Is that a true statement?
Oh, it's a true statement because they had to go through a second round of election.
So what was the result that make it narrow? Tell me the result. Tell me the result and the numbers that make it narrow.
He had to solicit support from other political institutions to give him the chance to win. You know.
So that's about, do you know how narrow is defined or decided, or what constitutes narrow?
For the fact that
it's the margin. So what was the margin between Bwaka and Weah for the election that decided Weah as the winner?
The first run here in the
I'm not talking about that's not the one that decided the election, Mr. Vi. I want you to be straight to the point. The first round did not decide the election. It was the second round that decided the election.
Second round, that's what I'm saying.
So then tell me, what was the narrow you're talking about?
Well, I don't know if I'll give you the exact figure, but
so let me give you some numbers so as not to waste time. Liberia has 15 counties. Is that true?
Yeah.
So Georgia won 14 out of the 15. Georgia won with 61% to 39%. Is that narrow?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now that was not the
that's the one that decided the election. Round. So that's the one we have to talk about, Mr. Va. If you don't want to talk about that one, that's fine. That is fine. But let us talk about it
narrow because
and say the truth.
Election was not decided in the first run. It wasn't.
And I agree with you.
If you have this, if this was the number in the first run, I would tell you that indeed, John, we have flogged Ambassador Bwaka. But for the fact that Ambassador Bwaka was able to take John Weah to a second round of voting, suggests that Ambassador Bwaka is a stick to reckon with.
It was not Bwaka that took George Weah to the second round.
Who took
other participated in the election. Cummings got 7%. Your former political leader at Gitina got 9%, if I'm not mistaken, or 8%. Prince Johnson got just about the same, all right, around 8 and 9. Okay, so these other candidates all help, all right? That is why Bwaka got 38%. And even the second round that decided the election, Bwaka got 39%. Listen, Bwaka got 39%. Yeah. So he only added 1 percentage point to his previous. Do you agree? So Bwaka is not as strong as you think here.
Well, well, he's stronger than Cummings. I can tell you that.
No, I'm not talking Cummings. I'm not talking Cummings because you are saying you're supporting Bwaka because you believe that Bwaka can beat Weah, and that is why we're talking about it. Because the first round, Bwaka got 38%. That was the first round. Yeah. In the second, in that very first round, Weah got 38%. I mean, actually, the first round, Bwaka got 28%, and Weah got 38%.
Yeah.
So in the second round, Weah jumped from 38 to 61%.
Yeah.
And Bwaka jumped from 28 to 39%.
Yeah, but you have to realize that those was not the exact strength of President Weah. There were other people that had to carry on and support because the options were limited as to who to support. So between the two, Ambassador Bwaka and Weah, that was a decision that other political parties made, like what you call it, Prince Johnson and the rest of the candidates over there made that decision to go Weah way. So that was carried Weah to 61. So what I'm saying now with the coming 2023 general and presidential election, President Weah don't have, I mean, we have a tax on hand to win this election if Cummings and Bwaka is on one ticket.
So let's look at what you just said, right? You said President Weah won because a good number of the voters and the other parties, they supported him and they didn't support Bouaka. And that is why we are one.
Yeah.
Now, most of the parties you're talking about, if I'm right here, are they within the CPP, for example, the ALP, your party, the Liberty Party, the ANC, they have been in the CPP. The CPP is being destroyed by all the leaders in the CPP, all of them. That is my take. They are all destroying it. You think with this destruction that's going on, they're going to support Bouaka? Will we now see a similar scenario where there is so much hate and pain and anger within the CPP that they might decide either not to support Bouaka or support Ria and Mr. Bouaka might lose again?
But this is why we all been saying that in an event where you have this CPP breaking apart is making it complicated for we are to lose this election. But notwithstanding, there's still hope. We're still looking to see what will happen. There's still a negotiation going on between the parties. If they were to put it back together, which I doubt, then we'll see. But other than that, right now I'm looking in the direction of Bouaka. Normally, that's my take right now. And
is Mr. Bouaka a capable leader who, according to him, is good at resolving issues? Do you believe him when he says he's good at resolving issues?
I do.
So why can't he resolve this CPP? Because this CPP, it has been proven that when the CPP holds, the CPP gets results. Does Bouaka not know that?
My brother, there are some things that are beyond your control.
And this CPP is one of those things beyond Bouaka's control, right?
When I say beyond your control, the force that is beyond the CPP is overwhelming, and nobody for sure can tell you what's going on. Right now,
you know that Ure is supporting Bouaka, right?
Well, I know Ure is
Bouaka benefiting from this Cummins Bouaka fight? I mean Cummins Ure fight that is in court. Is Bouaka benefiting?
Well, Mr. Bouaka doesn't have anything to do with it.
No, I'm not asking you whether he has something to do with it or not. Is he not benefiting, or is he benefiting?
Benefiting in what terms? All these things just make things to look bad, For me, the Cummins Ure fight, I don't.
Will you like to see Cummins intervene and resolve this conflict between these two gentlemen who happen to be his younger brothers? He's the elder statesman.
Who, Ambassador Bouaka?
Yes.
If I would like to see him resolve the
intervene between these two men who are in court.
Well, I would like to see an amicable resolution of what is obtained in the court, and we would like to know what happened with regards to the framework document that was tempered. We want to know what actually happened. So we want
you already know what happened. Your political leader said Cummins authored the document. You already know what happened. Your political leader said Cummins authored the document. All right. So
yeah, but then
so my next question is,
if you author the document, then that is forgery and it's wrong. So in the first,
and that's why he's in court, right? So he's in court. So you already know what happened. And so my next question is, will you want the CPP to go to primary?
The aspect of primary is already a question, because the CPP ARP stated they are pulling out of the CPP. United Party have also started their withdrawal process. So, initially, yes, we all were preparing for the primary and to rally around the candidate that we support. But going to the latest development, what has transpired right now, and looking at the legal issues in the court regarding the Cummins and framework document issues, I mean, there's no way now I can tell you anything about the primary, Absolutely.
Are you proud of Benina Ure, and are you feeling sorry for Cummins?
I'm not feeling sorry for Cummins, and I'm not proud of being proud. I'm not very proud of Benina Ure at all, but I'm not sorry for Cummins also.
Why are you not sorry for Cummins, and why are you not proud of Benina?
But
the Benina is doing the dirty work for your man Bouaka. So why are you not proud of him?
That's your observation. I don't think that Benina is doing anything.
So why are you not proud of him though?
Benina?
Mm-hmm.
No, I've not been proud of Benina from the day one. It's not primarily because of the CPP, you know.
You should have your reason. Give your reason why you are not proud of him.
Well, he's a businessman and he's doing business in Liberia, but I mean, I don't know him.
You sure you answering the question? He's a businessman. That is why you are not proud of him.
No,
you work for a business.
He role within the CPP. Well, I can say that, but I mean, I got my personal reasons and I don't want to disclose.
Oh, you don't want to say that? Okay, I respect that. So why are you not? Why are you not feeling sorry for Cummings? The guy is he's in court, man. He's your brother. Why are you not feeling sorry for him? Did he?
But people are taking the court if they break the law. So if
you say Liberty Party, you say Liberty Party is a generous party, you know. So
Liberty Party is a generous party, but Liberty Party doesn't allow people to break the law and go scot-free. This is
you're not feeling sorry for him because he broke the law.
Who?
Cummings. Give me a reason why you're not feeling sorry for him.
I mean, that question. I don't think that question is.
Okay. Are you enjoying Joseph Walker's role in all of this? Quiet, let it play out. He chilling. Are you enjoying the moment?
You see, everybody get their own nature. Let me be fair with you. That's Ambassador Walker's nature to keep calm and stay out of issues. When he was vice president of Ellen Johnson said,
leaders should not stay away from issues, Mr.
12 years.
Leaders intervene when there is crisis.
Oh, definitely. He played a part. Ambassador Walker, maybe he got something that probably he would take some action, but for now, he's still studying the circumstances. And I'm not in your head now.
This thing been going on now for over 3 months. He's still studying it.
He's noted to be somebody that like to stay away from issues. When he was vice president of Balance 12 years, we all saw his style of leadership as a vice president.
He stayed away. He was part, right?
Well, he was not really engaged too much into most of the activities unless he was invited by the president.
So as a president of Liberia, as a president of Liberia, when there's crisis, he would stay away. He would be studying it, and because that's what you said. That's
a different role now. If he becomes president,
it would be the same. It would be the same. It would be the same attitude. It would be the same behavior.
No. The president has a term of reference that Ambassador Walker will follow. Issues where require.
You are in America. Have you changed because you're in America? Do you change your principle? Your behavior has changed.
Well, America is a location. The presidency is an office. It's a position. You know, so that there are two different things. You know, so what I'm saying is, Ambassador Walker becomes president, there's a term of reference that governs the working of that office, and I don't think he would just sit there and say, "Well, I'm going to remain quiet since I'm president."
No, he was vice president. You said he was disengaged. President and vice president, they are similar.
No, president and vice president are not similar at all. The president is the head of the country. The vice president work when the president says so.
You sure they are not similar?
No.
So why they call it vice president?
You just there to as a ceremonious leader to help the president, and you only there as a spectator.
President can visit other country on state visit. Vice president does the same thing.
Yeah, the vice president do that upon the direction of the president.
Oh.
If Ellen Johnson Shelley don't want to make this visit and say, "Oh, Mr. Ambassador Walker, please go there for me," he will go. That's what happens.
Okay. Well, Mr. Va, time is our enemy.
Yeah.
I want to say a very big thank you. I think we had a very good interactive discussion.
Yeah.
We appreciate you honoring our invitation here at Focus on Liberia. We wish you well. You said money is a challenge for you. You want to be senator for Grand Bassa County. You should start doing everything you can in your power to represent your people. Thank you so very much for coming. Let's hear your closing statement. And in your closing statement, I want you to, as much as you can, speak to the Liberian people with all that is going on in the CPP. What do you hope to see? Okay.
Thank you very much. Before my closing statement, I want to revert to Grand Bassa County.
Okay.
With regards to the train accident that took place on the rail. I think 7 or so persons were involved in an accident. And one thing we are supposed to know that ArcelorMittal do have an insurance coverage that covers their activities in foreign countries. And that policy should be comprehensive, which is also known as full coverage. So I'm urging now the Bassa Legislative Caucus to engage ArcelorMittal as to what benefit that is there for the victim or the family of the victim, and also what is there with regards to bodily injury for those that got injured during the accident. This thing must come to light, and ArcelorMittal has to take some responsibility. The insurance policy is there. You can't have an accident in a county and then you hide the policy away from the people, and then you think that it's going to be something that nobody going to talk about, nobody going to ask about. Okay, let the insurance policy come up. Let us know what the family of those victims are entitled to within that policy, because it's a very big policy, and ArcelorMittal is a big company that is a global institution. So let them bring out the insurance policy, and so we could be able to do what is there for those victims of the accident, and let the people get their benefit. Let them get what is insured within the policy of that insurance. Let the people be covered. With regards to the CPP and the what is obtaining nationally, I support the Boyka Yombli ticket for president of Liberia and vice president. And we also want to amicably resolve the dispute within the Liberty Party, and we asking the National Election Commission to play a neutral role to allow us to sit down and resolve our differences instead of taking sides and whatnot. It's unhealthy for Liberia. It's unhealthy for our emerging democracy, and especially 2023, where the international community is watching. We ask the NEC to be as professional as possible within their undertakings and their responsibilities. They have to give us the room to resolve our problem, other than fueling more confusion within among the disputed parties. And we don't want to go further, because if the NEC continue with such action, what we consider to be taking sides, will be left with no alternative but to pursue this matter to a court of competent jurisdiction that is within the Supreme Court of Liberia to seek address. And I want to thank you, Mr. Sieh, for hosting me today. It was indeed an interactive section, and I also want to say thank you to the people of Focus on Liberia for the information that you disseminate on a daily basis to the Liberian people. It's healthy and it's encouraging, and I look forward to return on your platform in the near future. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vav, for coming and also giving your perspective on the issues that we raised to you, and doing so to the best of your ability. Liberia is for us all. The politics of Liberia is also for Liberians. We all want to participate, especially when we wish to. That opportunity must be given everyone to be heard, especially those who want to be leaders, like Mr. Va, who wants to represent the people of Grand Bassa County, one of the biggest counties in Liberia. How we look at it, we need these politicians. Oh, yes, we need them, for that is the system we have. But we want to find the good ones. The option we have is to just keep trying one and the other, until we get the one who will do right by us. And until we find that one, the inconvenient truth is that We will keep searching. We will keep trying. I hope Mr. Val will become one of those Liberian politicians, when elected, will be up to the task to put a smile on the faces of the people of Grand Bassa. Because reports has it that the Content and Social Development Funds, the people of Grand Bassa are not benefiting. There's a huge seaport there. Yet, poverty is written on the faces of the people of Buchanan before talking about the people in the villages. That is the story of Liberia. My name is Ansony Sieh. I brought you another edition of the Hour of Politics. And to you who watch the show, we want to say thank you. We appreciate your comments. But I'm going to warn you, be critical on me. Be critical on your leaders. Be critical on my guests if you wish, but show them respect, because that's the only way we can move forward with this country called Liberia. It is with only respect that we can do it. Disrespect will bring this unity, just as it is in the CPP. It's disintegrating because they don't have any respect for each other. And the other thing, the big one, greed for power. Everybody wants power. Somebody doesn't want to give way. And so that is a political clash. No one can find their way. It is a disgrace. The alternative of the Liberian people, according to some, is now dissipating. It's disappearing. Wia is smiling. Wia is dancing. He's swimming in opulence while the opposition is in tatters. They are in court. What a disgrace. Well, this must come to an end. I love you all, but maybe, as the Christian would say, God loves you best. Not that I'm not a Christian, but I'm more on the side of our ancestors. And so I say to you, the ancestors were wise. They will always be wise. Don't go to a crusade for miracles and blessing. My ancestor taught me to grab my fishing hook and go and fishing and get fish to eat. They told me go on the farm. You sitting in Morovia and going to crusade, no manna is falling from heaven anymore. We are now in the days of Moses. We are in the days of technology and the information age. Folks, work, find work. And if you can't find work, if your leaders can't provide the opportunity to protest and kick them out of power, that is the authority that I'm giving you, and do it peacefully. Well, we have to go now. But we're leaving you with this song that says, we are all Liberians. Mr. Val, the introduction was beautiful. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I wish your family well. Bye-bye.
Okay. Same to you, man. Same to you. Bye-bye.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home. Liberia people. Bye.